If you didn't already know, we have a mascot, and your mascot is a dragon, which means every single one of you is a Dorel dragon. So why not draw something about dragons? So instead of just drawing a normal dragon, I figured let's do a close-up of a dragon eye, and we're gonna be really close up. Yep, Jay's getting all close to the screen, showing us her kind of dragon eye, and we're gonna draw a dragon eye together. All we're going to do today is draw it. Next week, we will color it. We're going to focus on those patterns, starting with lines and shapes, and you repeat them, and we have patterns. We're going to make texture and make it look like scales today. You're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, and if you have a Sharpie or something black to outline with. I'm using a Sharpie, but if I want to, I can always use my black marker. I could use a black crayon. And I don't have colored pencils right in front of me, but if I had colored pencils, I could also use a black colored pencil. Anything black to outline with is totally a-okay. And after I practice, I'm just gonna do that curve. So now I have that curve down and it's ready for part of my eye. And I want you to know that when I'm drawing, I'm not moving my wrist. This is gonna be something that's gonna feel weird. I'm not moving my wrist. I'm not even moving my elbow. I'm actually moving my entire arm that starts at my shoulder. When I make my motions and I move with my whole arm and I'm not moving my wrist, it's going to start to feel better the more I practice that way. So instead of trying to do this and move it with your wrist, try to move that whole arm with it in one big motion and it might feel a little better. So if I need to practice with my finger first, I can to get that whole first step down. Maybe I start there and I do it halfway and I connect it to the other side. I can do that too. So I'm just going around the top one just a little bit to give it a little eyelid. And then I'm going to go around the bottom one to give it a little bit of that eyelid. Notice I didn't connect those new lines. I'm just going above and below. It doesn't have to be super thin. It also doesn't need to be super thick. I'm going to take each circle one at a time. And I'm going to start on one side, and I'm just going to go around. No, you don't have to do circles. I'm going to show you a couple other ideas. So that one zigzags. This one kind of just left the outline a little bit, and then this one kind of did another outline, and they just put lines in it to make it look like squares. The whole idea is that we're going to repeat it a lot, and we're going to make different layers to look like pattern and texture. And I'm just going to put that big circle in the center, and now I can outline it. Again, I'm not moving my wrist if I'm trying to make a circle, because that's how I end up with ovals. I have that inside of there. Now I showed the other class if you want to do a star in the eye. If you want to, I would do it in pencil first and then erase the lines inside, and that's going to go a line out, a line over like a V. From that second line, you're going to go up through the first one, and then you go down through the first two, and then you connect it. And then you can erase out the inside. So I'll do that with my pencil because I don't want those big black lines in there. If I want a star inside of my eye to make it more maybe mystical or magical. You are the artist, fifth graders. You think outside the box. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to make your eye. I'm just giving you the steps to make it your own. Now I'm just giving it some horizontal lines, some diagonal lines, some vertical lines inside of that eye. And it's starting to look like an eye, but I need to add a little bit more emphasis. I want to add more going around it, and I'm going to go all the way to the edge of my paper. So I'm going to go up, down, over, and down, and then I don't even have to do the full thing. I just kind of get to do this kind of like L shape, and I get to go around the whole piece of it. And the more I repeat it, the more I go around, the nicer it's going to look. Now for my next row, if I wanted to do something different, I can do that for it, but I probably am not going to do more than 2 different types of scales back and forth. If I do more than 2, it's going to feel maybe a little messy and it might feel overwhelming. It might not have unity, and unity is a principle of design. So we want your eye to feel like it's unified, it is completed with all of those scales going around. And then I can keep going. Maybe I only have enough to fit on the corners now. Wherever you have room to keep going and keep adding, you can do that and just pretend like your lines are still going out and start them, but you don't really do much with them because there's nowhere for it to go. And I'll keep going and I'll just spread it all the way out. So I have my bump and my curve. I outline it a little bit. And maybe I'm going to do this one where I actually end up coloring that all in and making it nice and thick for that emphasis. Like maybe this dragon has some eyeliner on, I don't know. Or maybe it just looks like they do. Maybe I'll give it a little triangle on the corner. And maybe I'll do a triangle going the other way, going down, curving it. So it has a little bit more going on. There's that diamond inside of their eye. And I want to keep a little spot white. Always keep a little white in the eye. And then this one is going to be zigzags going up, over, and down, all the way around. And then there's this way. And then it goes out a little bit more, and I just keep going. Oh, I can't finish it anymore because it's going off my paper, so I'll do as much of it as I can with just those little V's kind of, and I'll bring it back down. I'm going to start up, curve over and down, and I'm actually just going to bring it back around and bring it back up like a teardrop. For the inside of that eye, it's almost a full circle, but it's not quite a full circle. I can add part of that crescent-shaped moon for the highlight of the eye. I can add that star, but my marker is really fat right now, and I don't have a lot of room, so I'll just do part of it just to show you. I can color that part in for the darkness of the eye, or I can wait and I can color it a color next week if I want to. I can outline it for that eyelid. And now I just get to put all of my lines in that part, breaking it off into those shapes. And then for this one, they're doing bumps. Here is another paper of all sorts of different finished kind of dragon eyes. In black and white. So here's those basic steps, and then these ones are black and white, but they colored them. So I'm going to show you how to color it next week. So don't worry about coloring it this week. Just worry about drawing out your dragon eye exactly how you want to.